Okay, after moving a lot of barrels around, we've got some new projects we can start this week. And one of them is going to be Australian lace agate, not to be confused with Mexican crazy lace. So this is it dry in the rough. Ooh, that's really cool. We're going to put it in our 4-pound barrel. Let's try and pick some that are not going to be a nightmare to tumble. There's a lot of host rock on these. Huh. Again, this is all dry. Let's take a quick peek at it wet. Ooh. See the colors pop? Yeah. Awesome. Alright, let's load this up. Wow. Really, really sharp edges. We're going to start this, because it's an agate, in 4670 silicone carbide. I call it pre-stage 1. We're not going to put any ceramics in this because we're wanting the grit to do the most shaping it can do. Wow. This stuff is amazing. Really pretty. Beautiful. Nice clean rough. I'm liking this rough. Put it all in there. That couldn't be more perfect. This is 3 pounds of Australian lace agate, Mohs hardness 7. So we're going to put 4670 silicone carbide grit in here. I'm going to use this heavy coarse. And we've got baking soda that we're going to add as well. Now I'm not seeing a whole lot of organic material on here. It looks really clean. But I still, because it's the very first time we're running this rough, I want to put a little bit of baking soda, about 1 tablespoon in there, to help alleviate gases. And because we ran an experiment with our grits, trying to see how much grit to use per barrel, we found out that we were wasting a lot of grit down the drain at the end of the 7-day cycle. So for my 4-pound barrel, I'm only going to put 3 tablespoons of this 4670 heavy coarse silicone carbide. And we're going to add some water, and then we're going to button this up, and we'll see it next week. Alright, Australian lace agate, new project. Yay! Okay, our Australian lace agate has been running 1 week in 4670. Let's take a look at this slurry here. It's really thin. It had no borax added to it. Lots of chippage, as you can see in the barrel. Very little grit left, so we did good on that. 7-day cycle. Isn't that sparkly? Look how pretty that is. Can't wait to get downstairs and do the inspection. We'll be right back with our next barrel. Australian Lace Agate. That's another one of our new projects that we started last week. It's in our 4.5 pound barrel. It has been running in pre-stage 1, which is 4670 silicone carbide grit. It's a heavier grind than the 6090 that most people use for stage 1, which is why I'm calling it pre-stage 1. I kind of wanted to get a jump start. There are a lot of chips, which is expected. But let's pull all these out and take a quick look and see if it needs to stay in 4670. Hang on. Or if it needs to move forward. And now let's pull all these little chips out also. All right, we'll be right back. Holy cow, there's a lot of prettiness here. Ooh, boy, I don't know last week if I was just in a fall frame of mind, but when we had all these barrels that we had open to start new projects, it seems like I picked out a lot of oranges and yellows. But wow, I don't know where to start. This Australian Lace Agate is amazing. It's just got a lot of intense patterning here. Oh, that's beautiful. I think this is the piece that I liked best last week. Recognize that little eye right there. I was, to be honest, last week when I looked at the rough, I didn't think we were going to have a lot of patterning. And boy, was I wrong. I mean, this stuff is insane. Wow. I mean, at first you think, oh, it's just a big bunch of yellow, but then look at the pattern. You got these different layers. Ooh, wow. Still needs, well, it looks like that's a little bug or crystal cave there. However, there is some grit stuck in that. You can see. Hope that grinds out this next week. Gotta get that grit out of there. Ooh, goodness. There's just so much to look at. All the different colors, all the different patterning. It's like, what must have been happening geologically when this stuff formed? Wow. Just blows the mind. There is a lot of nice shaping happening. The rough edges are smoothing out. That'll chip off. I should pull this piece out because you see how deep that pocket is. That could become grit catchers and just a problem. And like the carnelian, I don't want to cause issues, so I'm going to pull this out and make it a garden stone. There's so many other pretty pieces in here. We don't really need to hang on to every single piece. Jeez, oh Pete's, look at that. Wow. Look at all the different eyes. You know, these orbicular patterns, and then the waves, and then, oh my goodness. Super cool. Who would have known that was hiding in there? What I'm trying to do is decide if this needs another 4670 or if it can move forward to 6090. Now, the heavier the grind, the more mass we're going to lose. But on a piece like this, we kind of need to lose some mass to get down into there. This might be another piece that gets pulled, but I think it can go one more week if I stay in the same grind. Let me set that aside. Because if I decide, oh my god. Look at these red crystal pockets. You go, Australia. Dang. I love polishing stuff from other places in the world. I got completely sidetracked. Oh, yeah, if I'm going to stay in the same grind, I can pull or leave those more deeply pitted things, stones in here to help with the grind. But if I'm moving forward, I'm going to pull these out. Oh gosh, that's really pretty. So I wonder if I just crack this stone. I put my chisel right here and just hit it with the hammer. We'd have this really neat piece. But we're going to lose this shape here. Oh, I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to let it go 1 week and we'll see. It's a pretty wide hole. Pit, divot, give it a name. Yeah, there's some pitting in here. Agates are notoriously hard, and they take a long time in stage 1. So I think I'm going to continue oh god, one more week in 4670. Yeah, really pretty. Oh my gosh, there's so much. I'm gonna be hard pressed to choose a favorite. Not that I'm supposed to, but you know, we always do. And there's some smaller ones in here because we want a good variety of sizes. There's some deep pitting in this one. I might have to pull that one out. Yeah, I'm going to pull that one out. And the reason I pulled that pitting out versus the other one is because it's a much smaller pocket, but it's really deep. And smaller pockets are harder to clean out. Wow. I could look at this stuff all day. That's a really super rough piece. It has some different texture on it. I'm worried about undercutting. And there's some pocketing. I think this is a contender to be pulled out. Alright, I am going to continue this off camera and save us all kinds of time. And we will see this next week. It's gonna get a recharge into 4670. I'm not gonna screw around trying to move this forward yet. Wow. Dang. These are so pretty. They're so beautiful. They all deserve their own camera time. Alright, my beauties. We will finish checking these off camera, and then we'll be back with our next barrel. I think that's it for 4670 for this week. I think everything else is in stage 1, 6090. Wow. Alright, I'll be right back. And we're back with our Australian lace agate, which has been 18 days in 4670 silicone carbide. Thought it was in 6090, but really it was in 4670. So yay, we had 3 barrels, not 2 this week in pre-stage 1. Anyway, I love this stuff. I love the colors. I like how vibrant it is. I like the patterns. There's nothing I don't like about this Australian lace. It was in a, had borax added to the slurry, and it was nice and thick. It has done a beautiful job. The stones look really nice and clean. There's some host rock left, obviously. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks. But I think this can definitely be moved forward. I'm going to put it in a wash cycle, and I'm going to put it into stage 1, 60-90, to do some more fine shaping and get rid of little tiny pits and cracks and whatever. I'm really, really pleased with this stuff. It's beautiful. Just stinking gorgeous. I mean, look at that. Yep, it's definitely going to need a couple wash cycles and then move forward. And I'm going to add ceramic media. There has been no ceramic media to this point in this. Gosh. Dang it. This is beautiful. Whew. I mean, I could look at this all day. Wow. This is wet because we just, rinsed them off. And I'm just tickled pink with this stuff. I mean, we've got some slurry in this still. I have to wash that bug out really well. I have to get my 4670 scrub brush and clean that, because that'll just turn to cement. We don't want that to happen. Woo! Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This is that piece that I think is my favorite. It's feeling a little grainy. I don't think I rinsed this as well as I should have. I'm feeling little bits of grit. Boy, is it packing a punch. All right, let's get this baby in some wash cycles. And move it to stage 1 to 4670. Wow. I am seeing some pits in here, so I'm going to want to give this a really good hand scrub before I put it in a wash cycle. It's not quite as important at the pre-stage 1 to stage 1 as it is when it gets to pre-polishes for grit contamination, because we're still going to be doing, grinding. But, wow. This stuff is so amazing. Goodness. Look at these. Got it magnified here. Because it's just so awesome. All right. Australian crazy lace. Or not crazy, just lace. Australian lace agate. We're gonna do a real good scrub with a toothbrush, and then we're gonna put it through a couple of wash cycles, and then we're gonna put it into stage 1 6090 silicone carbide grit, and we will see it next week. Okay, we're back with our Australian lace agate, which ran 18 days in pre-stage 1 4670 silicone carbide grit, and it has run 1 week in 6090 silicone carbide, which is stage 1, and it's looking really good. Let's give it a little squirt here. Keep it damp while we're looking at it, and see how many pieces, if any, are ready to move forward. Now, I'm still feeling some rough texture on the surface. Boy, it's really pretty patterns on this. Shaping really well. Had a really nice thick slurry, so I'm happy with that. Very little grit left over. This is in our 4-pound barrel. And I'm noticing not breakage in the barrel, but the pieces are getting really small. We're getting a lot of little tiny stone-sized pieces here. They're wearing down quite quickly, as opposed to the black onyx that we're seeing, you know, no mass shrinkage. But I'm kind of a little concerned. I don't want to keep running this 6090 and lose mass. Oh, there's some really deep pitting in there. That's going to have to go to the garden. All right, let's see here. I don't want to keep running something this small in 6090, so I'm going to move it to 120. So there's a little bit of pitting right there. But again, goodness. I think these little tiny stones, I mean, I can either move them to the Zen garden because they're so little. I think I'm going to hold them for 120. I mean, there's a lot of little ones, but they've got such an impact with the pattern on them. Whew. These little tiny ones are going to 120. Hope they survive. That's that one we've been watching. That's just a natural. It's not a chip per se, or it's not a damaged chip anyway. Some little holes in there. Oh, I will scrub these with a toothbrush and then put these aside to run in 120. All these little tiny ones. Wow, that's got really thin. Just an amazing pattern on all of these. I'm trying to dig out these little ones. Thin ones, the tiny ones. Oh, it kind of sounds like glass, doesn't it? Huh. Alright, let's keep going for tiny pebbles. Those little ones, little ones. Wow, look at the patterns on that one. More of this is ready to move forward than I thought. This is that one with that eye I've been watching. But if you look at it closely, you see that it's not super smooth surface. It really does require more time in stage 1. I mean, it just has a rough feel to it. There you can see all those little micro pits. I want that ground out before it moves forward. All these here. We are splitting this batch. All the little tiny stuff is going to go to 120. Any of these bigger pieces, that's just a druzy pocket. The rest of the surface feels pretty good. See, you're not really seeing all those micro pits that we were looking at as in that other piece. I think this one could go forward. Alright, this is a lot of stone here that we still need to go through. I want to take my time with it, and I want to really choose wisely as to what I'm going to move forward and what's going to stay in it. We're not going to have enough to run in this 4-pound barrel. So it may have to be combined with something else so that we can get a good efficient run. Okay. Half of it stays in stage 1, half of it's ready to move forward, but we're going to hold it till everything's ready to go forward. So what we do with the stones that are ready to move forward is we actually just like set them aside mostly in Ziploc baggies. And once we have enough to run a barrel, we'll put them in wash cycles to clean them really well. And then we, charge it up for the next stage of grit. But because we split these, we don't always have... I don't think this one's going to work. This is going to have to go to the garden. I lost my train of thought. Okay. That's alright. Wow, look at this one. It's cool. Still needs some work, but it's really close. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, to finish up our stage 1 barrels, we have our Australian lace agate, which has been running, oh gosh, how long has it been running? It ran for 4 weeks, or 18 days, I'm sorry, it ran 18 days in our pre-stage 1 4670 silicone carbide. And then we moved it, and it's been 2 weeks, and that's all, just 2 weeks in our 6090 stage 1. Now last week we pulled out a bunch that was ready to move to 120, and we're going to see how much of this is ready to go. It's been pretty nice to work with. It's absolutely gorgeous stuff here. Feeling really nice. Anything going to 120, I'm going to put in this little bucket. Wow. Just look at this patterning. Now this is not Mexican crazy lace. This is actually from Australia. Nice agate though. You see we've got all this in here. I would like to have smoothed out just a bit more. And then this whole stone here, which looks like a smoky quartz, is really rough. All that needs to be ground out, so it still needs more work. I like the color variation. Oof. Oh my gosh, this is just, you know, fantastic. It's really just an overload on the colors and the patterns. We can see it needs more work. Wow. Really cool, but you can see there's a lot of little pitting, tiny pits in here. I want those ground out. Oh, not here. Yeah, more work. This feels a little gritty. I may not have rinsed it as well as I needed to. I'm feeling this right in here. Yeah, I'm not going to rush it. This is going to need a little more time. Gosh, these are just really cool stones. Now adding the borax made a nice thick slurry. And it still had like a little bit of grit left. Not a lot, just a little bit. So I think I'm going to reduce by 1 teaspoon how much grit I was putting in the barrel. Because these 7-day cycles, I want it to really run all that grit out. And I just don't want to do a 10-day cycle because it just doesn't work for me for washing out the barrels. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on that. I'm not finding a lot that needs to move forward. Yeah, there's just a lot in here. Really rough. Wow. I love this piece. It is so cool. Yeah, that piece is ready. This is my favorite piece. But if you follow the shine on the surface, you see all these little micro pits. That's got to get ground out. It's just, yeah, got to get ground out. Oh, that almost looks like picture or like a polychrome jasper almost. Yeah, I really thought there'd be more moving forward. Wow, crazy vibrant colors on this. This stone has all the beautiful colors of fall. Oof. Still needs work though. Alright, that's just a divot. Yeah, see, just a little. Alright, we'll do it. Is it dry? Can we see? Yeah, so you can see the little tiny pockets. Alright. I really thought there'd be more moving forward, but I guess not. It's just some in. I mean, once you can feel it, you don't even need to bother with the rest of the stone, because you know it's going back in. Alright. Yeah, nope. That's it. That's moving forward. So we'll put it in our little lace agate ready for 120 bag. Set it aside. Now, set that over there. All this goes back and recharged, and we will run it again in stage 1, and we'll see it next week. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, last week we were talking about moving some barrels around and how I was not all that happy with the rotation in the 3-pound barrel. Hang on here. Evidently I can't do 2 things at once. Okay, we were talking about our black onyx and how we did not like how the rotation in the 3-pound barrel because the sizes were really large. And we had a couple of pink aventurines that were pretty large. And they just weren't progressing as quickly as the other stones. Whoops. Let's clean this out here. Do one thing at a time. Alright. There we go. Alright, so we had these black onyx. Nice big chunks. And they just weren't getting the rotation in the 3-pound barrel. So we wanted to move them to the 6-pound barrel to see if they had a better rotation. And we'll do a better investigation downstairs and take a look, but I'm seeing improvement. And then we had some large pieces of pink aventurine and Australian lace agate. It all needed a bit more room to maneuver. So they're all the same Mohs hardness, so we put them in the same barrel. And I think it did what we wanted it to do, but we'll take a good look at this stuff downstairs. Okay, be right back. Alright, we have our Australian lace agate, not to be confused with Mexican crazy lace. It has been running for a while in our 60-90 stage 1. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. 3 weeks in 60-90. So we pulled some out previously that was ready to go to 120, and we're going to see how much more of this is ready to go. Now we had this combined in the 6-pound barrel with the black onyx and the pink aventurine, all the same Mohs hardness, but we wanted a bigger rotation, so the 6-pound barrel was better for some of these larger stones. That is looking really nice. It's getting really close. There's a little bit of pitting I can feel right in here. So that's going to go back in to our stage 1 6090 and run a little bit longer. This one is not feeling as smooth as it could. There's a little couple spots. It's feeling better than last week though, so we are making progress on it. It was the right decision to move it to the bigger barrel. Yeah, this whole side in here needs work. Let's keep it wet. Oh, yep. Been working on this divot in here. Let's see what happens. Not getting the progress I was hoping, but again, it's only been 3 weeks. It feels like it's been running forever because of the stuff it's been combined with has been running so much longer. So really, it's only been, 3 weeks. So it can definitely stand another week. Frankly, with that being said, I'm surprised the other stuff was ready. But they were much smaller stones. Boy, that feels good. Just have that one spot right there. Right here. Gorgeous, gorgeous stones. These patterns are so busy. You just get lost in them. Yeah, it's like every one I pick up, I'm getting like one little spot. So I just know that it's going to need another week. So once you feel one spot, you don't really need to keep feeling for more. Try and make this go a little bit faster. Here's that favorite piece. Still needs more work. Goodness, I don't think anything was ready. Absolutely nothing. Wow. That surprised me. I thought so, would at least have half of it ready. All right, all of the lace agate is going back. It's going to be recharged for another week of stage 1 of 6090. Huh. Nothing moving forward yet. Okay, I'll be right back. Our Australian lace agate. Let's take a look and see how much of this is ready to move forward, or if it requires more time in stage 1. And it could just use a little bit more. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Even dry, it's really pretty. But I'm gonna wet it. I'm gonna get a really good feel. I'm gonna get a really good look at it. My goodness, look at those colors pop. Sorry about that camera angle there. Doing too many things at once. Let's see if any of this is ready to move forward to medium. You can see the pot marks in there. I want those to grind out a layer. Ooh. So pretty. If I feel an imperfection, I can stop checking the stone because I know it's going to need more time. Not right there. I kind of have my doubts that we're going to have anything ready to move forward. Although it does seem like every week there was 1 or 2 pieces that we could pull out. close, but not yet. This is all so darn pretty. Wow. There was like no progress that week. Only one piece out of this entire 6-pound barrel was able, that's my favorite one, out of this whole barrel was able to move forward to medium. Now the lace agate, 1, 2, 3, it was also only 4 weeks in 60/90, so I'd expect another 2 weeks probably before we start seeing real progress. Damn. Busy, busy, busy. Very, very pretty. Okay, more 60/90. And we still need to add more to this barrel before we can run it. Now I could put each of these in their own barrel, but it's winter and I don't want to clean all those barrels, so I'd rather have everything in the same most hardness in the same stage, being the 60/90, to run in one barrel. It's one barrel to clean. Takes longer to inspect. 6 in one, half dozen in the other. Alright, we're going to see what else we've got going in our course. And if not, we might start something new or see if we've got any more of this stuff on the shelves and add to the barrel just to keep this barrel running. Alright, we're going to take a look. I'll be right back. And we're back with our Australian lace agate. It has been running 18 days in pre-stage 1 4670 heavy coarse silicone carbide grit, and then we put it in to stage 1 60/90 coarse silicone carbide grit, and it's been running in that stage for 6 weeks. Now we have split some pieces out and sent them to sit on the shelf waiting for medium, and let's see how many more pieces get to join that. This is what we were holding so far, and let's see if we can add anything to it. And this is dried because it dried out while we're filming here today, and we'll just wet it as we need to. Trying to feel for imperfections so I can see but not feel it. If I can't feel it, we're good. I think some of these pieces we had pulled out too early and then put it back in. So that one can go medium. Nope. There's still some pitting. I want this pitting ground out. Beautiful, beautiful pattern though. Absolutely stunning. Oh, this is going to take some time. Yeah, I can feel that surface. Oh, you can see all the grit still in there. So that stays. Wow, and as thin as this piece is, it still needs work. I'm really concerned about this Australian lace, about how much it still needs. That feels beautiful. Alright. Let's take a look at it wet. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at the colors pop. Stunning, and this one is finally ready to go to medium. Now those look like holes, but they're not. It's just the quartz. It's clear and you can see through it, so it's kind of nifty. Okay, this piece. Wow, that needs more work. Not much work, but a little bit. That one needs more work, more work. Holy cow, we're not getting a lot of progress on this. It's like I can feel that little divot. And since we have stuff going back in, why not? Boy. I mean, it's beautiful. But you can feel those imperfections. I'm really disappointed in how pitted this rough is. Isn't that neat? Look at that, and then you turn it over, and it's just like, wow. I am stunned at how little is ready to go forward and how many micro pits I'm seeing. This Australian lace might end up being a bust. Because it seems like once it grinds down a layer, it opens up new stuff. Oh, there's my favorite piece. I've been watching that little eye right there. But it's got, that surface has got some pits. There's stuff right there. Aww, it's gonna need more time. Wow. Crazy beautiful. That one can move forward. Wow, not happy with this condition. Let's see. I mean, just not happy with the condition of this Australian lace agate. It's going back in. We only had 4 pieces to pull out. And we'll see this stuff next week, still in stage 1. And we're back with our Australian lace agate, which is in stage 1, 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit, which has been running for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. 9 weeks in stage 1. This is the last of it that needs to be in stage 1. Hopefully some of it will be able to move forward. We do have all of these that have been set aside, pulled out of the batches, that's ready to move to medium, but we want the rest of this to catch up with it. Alright, this is our last barrel. It's our 4 pound barrel, 4.5 pound barrel. That's running in stage 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3 different stones that are running in it. In this one barrel, all almost hardness 7. We've had some issues in this barrel this past 2-week cycle. We've had some breakage, which is very interesting. There it is. So we've had, this came off of our Australian lace. We had this one very thin piece broke in half. And then off a yellow piece we had a chip come off.
And then we have a piece of green tree moss agate that also broke. We've had some issues in this barrel. There was no ceramic media in this barrel for this last 2-week run because we had bigger stones and they really needed a lot of work to happen, and we didn't want any cushioning, and it got pretty beat up. So let's take a look and see what our results are. So Australian lace agate has pitting issues that we are trying to get out, ground out. You can see this whole bed of pits. Actually, it's drying quite a bit, so we're gonna wet it down as we work on it here. This whole surface has a different type of stone with it. You can see all the pitting on it that we're trying to grind out, this whole surface. And then over here we had a couple druzy pockets open up, and as you can see, we're still getting slurry is still stuck in there, and that little white piece is a piece of ceramic media that got embedded in there. We want to get that out as well. See all that gray, that slurry that's stuck in these grooves, and that's why you have to clean these so well before each stage, so that you don't have grit carry forward. So those druzy pockets really opened up. The little crystals that were in those pockets are practically gone. And this needs more work. This whole stone has grit carry forward. Goodness. You can see as I'm taking this toothbrush and trying to get in there and get the grit out, you see how deep that pocket is. It just carry forward a lot of grit. Now, like the ocean jasper, I should have pulled those stones out and just had them for the garden, because we don't want grit contamination moving forward to the next stage. But what I'm trying desperately to do here is work those out, grind those out, so that we can have enough stone to polish. And I don't know if we're gonna, all of this is still really super pitted. I'm not gonna take the time to scrub each one of these on camera. They definitely need it. I mean, it feels bad. And when bad means not smooth, it's super rough. This one's feeling very, very good now that I say that. But it does have a little right here that I want to work out. You can see that little pinprick hole, that really tiny hole, and it's got grit inside of it, so it's going to need to go more. And then this broke, so it's has rough edge on it. This whole surface is rough. Again, I mean, it's just, I don't know if any of this is ever going to move forward. I'm really disappointed. Gosh, there's a lot of grit still left on here. My hands are still feeling the little grit, pieces of grit. I'm disappointed in this Australian lace agate. The rough that I received was super pitted and damaged, and I just feel like I'd like to pitch it and get more and start over. I'm not very happy with this Australian lace agate.
of it is still has these pieces in it that are really these fine little pockets are not grinding out the way that I wanted them to, and they are so deep that to get them to grind out, you would lose so much mass on the stone, it wouldn't really be worth tumbling, because you'll have, like, you know, pebble size left. Let's get rid of that toothbrush. All right. Oh gosh, I think we're gonna have a decision time on what we're gonna do with this. I mean, it's really beautiful, but it's full of grit catchers. So I don't know how we can ever get this stuff to move forward if these don't grind out. I am willing, like, see, this is just crumbling. So whatever the matrix of the stone is that's inside, it's just crumbling, and it's just making a mess. And no matter how pretty the designs are, this is going to the garden. I think most of this might end up in the garden. We were trying to save it. Gosh, I'm getting like little pieces of stone on my thumb there. There's lots of grit catchers. You can see how much grit is left in each of these stones, and they're so beautiful. But I just don't see how these can move forward to polish, you know, to finally get to a polish stage, because there's so much grit catching in here. I'm not sure any of these, maybe 3 or 4 of these stones will be able to be salvaged. The rest of these are going to have to go to the garden. There's no point in continuing tumbling when you're going to have to go so deep into the surface to get these opened up and to get them done smooth. Like, there's just no point. All right, I'm going to take another look at this off camera. And I'm going to see how many pieces we could possibly see through the rest of this. And then the rest are going to go to the garden. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. After a careful inspection, these are the only pieces that I can continue to run. I'm going to put them one more week in stage 1 and see if they clean up and if we're able to use them. These ones, all of these, are going to the outdoor garden, including my favorite piece, which had that eye that we were watching. It breaks my heart because I love this piece. I thought it was amazing, but the surface is still so pitted, and there's so much grit dug deep into these, and the pitting is on every side of the stone. And it's just, we would lose so much mass to get this ground down, and I think it's just going to open up new issues. So we're just going to take it out to the outdoor garden. That's a bummer. And that's the status of the Australian lace agate for this week. All right, we'll be right back. We're back with our mixed barrel of Mohs hardness 7 stones. We've got Australian lace agate, green tree moss agate, picture jasper, black onyx. All these are just a couple of pieces here and there that I had left that needed another cycle in 6090. And super easy to clean up. See, there's not anything sticking inside. Super easy cleanup. Now the filler that I have in this barrel is Topaz. And it was really tiny smalls. Really tiny smalls. And I'm using this in place of ceramic media because it's an experiment. Okay, oh, there's some Unicode in here too. Cool. Hopefully this stuff is ready to move to medium. Because we've been running at 6090 in stage 1 for a long time. Yeah, these are just little bits and bobs, final pieces. Now all these that I'm running here are in 6090, all these barrels that I'm cleaning today. They had nothing in medium. So I don't have to switch out my strainer. I have the same identical strainer, but I have it in different grit stages because, you know, grit gets stuck in and around here, and I don't want that to contaminate the next batch. So I'm being super anal about it. Hardly anybody changes out their strainers, but I do. So again, these are all stage 1. Okay, let's get our next barrel. Okay, let's try this again. Hopefully the focus is fixed now. Or not. So if you can see that little bit of a rough texture right in here, some light pitting, there's some right there. I want that to run again. Yeah, that's going to run again on that edge. Just right in there. We've been running this stuff for so long in various barrels, trying to get it all caught up. What's another run? It'll be gorgeous when we're finished. Oh, this is getting really close to being ready for 120. Super close. Maybe I can go to 120. Nope. I can go to 120. That spot wasn't going to catch grit. And that can go to 120. Whew. And we're back with our Australian lace agate, which has been running in 120, 220 medium grit. So we have 2 barrels of medium this week. Nice foam. Good consistency. Super easy clean out. We added ceramic media to the batch to help cushion the stone, because at this point we're trying to smooth it, not grind it. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, see you, little bug. What happens when you do this outside? Okay. This is just lovely. Ooh. Feeling good already. I think that's definitely going to be ready for 500. Alright, we'll go look at it downstairs. And we're back with our Australian lace agate. Oh, there was a chip in that barrel. That has been running 1 week in stage 2 medium 120 220 coarse silicone carbide. Not coarse, medium. Just so used to saying that. So these are still wet from the barrel washout. And as you can see, we had ceramics in the barrel this time to cushion the stone because we didn't want to grind. We don't want more mass loss, but we're trying to smooth the surface to get it ready to take a pre-polish. And I keep the ceramics separate by stage. Ceramic media, you do not have to do that. You can just wash it and move it along. But I am fortunate enough that I was able to keep it separate. I don't want cross-contamination, and I was lucky enough that at the time when I bought the ceramic media, I had gotten a really good deal. So I bought a lot of it. And that way, I just keep it separated by stage. Ceramic media, when it comes from the vendor, is, and I'm going to use air quotes here, rough, which means it has these little edges that are on it. It's not rounded like this. It's a little sharp. So every time I get a fresh batch of ceramic media, I run it in 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit. Not by itself, you know, but in a run. And then after that run, I put it through a wash cycle all by itself. And then I put it aside and I will use it in stage 2. So all of this is in stage 2 medium 120 220 silicone carbide. Keep that separate, and I'll run it till it's gone. And then when I need to replenish it, I take from the 6090 barrel, do a wash cycle so there's no cross-contamination possible, and then I just rinse and repeat for the different stages. So in the beginning, this used to be in 6090, now it's 120. Anyway, enough of that. Australian lace agate, not to be confused with Mexican crazy lace. 2 completely different areas of the globe where this comes from, but they are both agates. So it's a Mohs hardness of 7. Oh, it's just amazing. Now these are wet, so don't think that they're lovely just yet, but the surface feels very smooth. I'm not feeling any grittiness, any sandiness, any textural issues. So anything that's, I think we're going to run this in 500. Hang on, I need my glasses on for this. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Wow, isn't it pretty yellow? Look at the pattern in that. Just crazy. It's amazing. Oh, this is definitely ready to move forward. Damn, that's just wild. I mean, it is just wild. What has to happen in nature to make this happen? Crazy, crazy. You know what? That's crushed prairie agate. That's a different kind. Oh yeah, it's lovely. There's no broken pieces, so I don't have to worry about any scratch marks happening in the next phase. This is my favorite piece. It just is. Fairly certain it is. I know it's kind of hard to pick a favorite. There is a little bit of pitting. I noticed on the last piece too. I want to make sure all the grit from the silicone carbide is out of there before it goes into aluminum oxide. So I am going to run all these in a 5-minute. Oh, like this druzy pocket. I want to clean it too. Oh, that's broken. Well, it's not broken, but it's a pocket. I am concerned about that moving forward. It's not sharp. It looks sharp, but it isn't. There's no grit caught in there. Alright, all this is going to go in an ultrasonic run because some of these pieces have some deep pits and I don't want any silicone carbide cross-contaminating with our aluminum oxide. So, these babies are going to move forward. Even the little teeny tiny ones. But yes, it's all going in. Ooh, that's awesome. I just like the peachy color. We are losing our focus. Yep, alright, let's just, I mean, we have the ultrasonic cleaner. Let's make use of it. That is a different type. This is crushed prairie agate. It got stuck in the wrong barrel. Alright, I'm going to put some water in here. Make sure the stones are covered. And then I'm going to put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Yes, we've done this before. Set the timer for 5 minutes. You know, there's several druzy pockets. Let's just give it 10. Let's go take a break. We'll come back in 10 minutes. And we'll see if this water gets cloudy. If it's cloudy, that means it worked. Well, not necessarily worked. It means that it got the dirt and grime out of the spots. Alright, I'm going to go turn this on and we'll be right back. right, 10 minutes is up. Let's see what that water looks like. Crap, that's dirty. You see, we thought it was nice and clean. All that was still stuck in the nooks and crannies. Damn. Alright, let's rinse that off and then prep the barrel for 500. Be right back. Before I dump this water out, look at how dirty that water is. Dang. That is just blowing my mind. Alright, let's go dump it out. And we're back with the stones in a clean water. See how clear that water is? Nice and clean. Okay, now let's get all of our stuff together and prep the barrel to go back into 500. Let's put the camera on the stand and be right back. Alright, we have our 500 barrel for our aluminum oxide. We have our ceramics for the 500 aluminum oxide. We have our borax and our stage 3 aluminum oxide pre-polish. So we've got our little duckies in a row. So let's get this barrel damp. Make sure everything is nice and damp. No standing water. Let's put our stone in here. Oh my goodness, we've got some. Hold on, let's check this camera. It's a little bit better. It helps when you actually tighten the camera stand. Alright, let's gently place our Australian lace in here. I want to mix it, kind of pre-mix it with the ceramic media. Get the ceramic media wet. Some more stone in there. Some people fill this barrel with water and then drop everything in there because it kind of helps cushion the drop. Kind of 6 in one, half dozen in another. Alright, that's all of our little babies. Now, the one that dropped over there. As you can see, this barrel, so here's the nodule right here, is way underfilled. So we're going to need a whole lot more ceramics. So let's just dig out another barrel full. And wet. Drain this water back into this bucket over here. Well, let's see if we can make a complete mess. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Still super underfilled. You know what? I have another barrel that was in 120 that might be ready for 500, and maybe I can run them both together in here and get the volume I need to fill this without putting so much ceramic in it. And I think it's picture jasper, so it'll be easy to tell the two stones apart. I'm going to dump all this back out, separate it out. Let's see if I can combine the two barrels in here and have a more efficient run instead of making everything wait. Most people would cut this scene. But I want people to see, you know, the kind of stuff the problems that you face. I have picture jasper. This in a 3-pound barrel, and my Australian lace agate was in a 1.5-pound barrel. If I remove all the ceramic media, combine these two stones, and then see how much 500 I need. While I'm cleaning this out, I'm going to put this stuff in the ultrasonic cleaner, give it a bath, because it's gorgeous, and I know it's ready to go to 500. It's been running 1 week in medium as well. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back with all of our toys. We have our vibratory barrel, which is often called a hopper. It's a little 4-pound unit. This is the one I use for my 500 aluminum oxide. We have our Australian lace agate and our picture jasper, which is all Mohs hardness number 7. And then we have our 500 aluminum oxide ceramic media. All of these are sitting in water, so when I put them into the barrel, everything will be damp. So let's get started. I'm going to dump this water into my little bucket right here. Put all these little lovely stones in here. I don't want to just dump it, because I don't want to take a chance on fracturing anything. So I'll just gently put those in. Now we're going to dump the water out of our picture jasper, pour it into our little bucket over here. And let's place these stones in our barrel. There's a lot less further to fall. And our little nodule is right here. Let's get a close up of that. It's kind of hard to see. There, you can see this little bump out. You don't want to fill over that, so we're going to need some ceramic media to cushion these stones and to help move the pre-polish around. Do some more. Just a little bit more. And these bigger ones in there. There. That's all I'm going to put in. So let's add tablespoon of borax. And then we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of aluminum oxide. I could probably get away with less, but alright, here it is. And this is our 500. This is our stage 3 pre-polish. And now let's go place the unit on the vibratory tumbler and then check the slurry. Be right back. Okay, we are placed on the vibratory unit. And watch the slurry take shape. You can see this nodule now that I keep talking about. We don't want to fill over that line so that this action keeps moving. If you overfill it, it tends to lock up. It's looking really good. I'm going to slow it down now that the slurry has started. That's about the level of movement I want. And that slurry will just keep getting thicker as time goes on, as it mixes. All right, both of our we've got our picture jasper with our Australian lace agate, both in 500 aluminum oxide, are in a Dawn wash cycle. Time to take it outside, dump it out, rinse it, and then I'm going to put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and then move it to 1000. Yay! So we can turn that unit off. And we're back with our picture jasper and our Australian lace agate. We are going to get them ready for a nice little bath in the ultrasonic cleaner. They've just been washed in a Dawn soap cycle, and they just come out of the 500 or stage 3 aluminum oxide. And we're going to get them ready to go into the 500, or excuse me, to the 1000. Just regular plain tap water. I'm not putting any soaps or anything in this. Let's just set that in our unit. Make sure the water levels are good, that the stones are covered. Yep, everything's covered. The water levels are all equal everywhere. All right. We'll see this in 30 minutes. I'm not using a heat cycle either. Just... Can I turn that off? That's off. Okay. I'm going to turn it on, and we'll see it in 30 minutes. And we're back with our picture jasper and our Australian lace agate, which has just finished a 30-minute cycle in the ultrasonic cleaner. And you can see the water's really cloudy. Wow. This one more so than this, which leads me to believe that this one had more fissures and cracks in it than this one did. Interesting. All right, I am going to go dump this water outside, and I will be right back. Oh, that was fast.
Okay, I'm going to do this the same as we did the Quesera Jasper, the one I'll never pronounce properly. Anyway, I'm going to take this barrel, which is dry, fill it with some water to help cushion the drop of the stones into the barrel, which I want to do as gentle as possible. You know what, let's add a little bit of our 1000 aluminum oxide ceramic that we have set aside. Let's dump that in the water too. Rest the stones in. Don't want too much ceramic in there. It seems pretty full. We could use a little more ceramic. Yeah, that's good. Let's drain the rest of the water out. Whew. All right. I'll clean that up later. We are going to attempt to set the camera up in the other room and see if we can get this set up with our aluminum oxide and borax. Be right back. Alright, let's add our borax. Stage 4, the 1000. Backwards. Well, we've got shadows, we've got bad angles. Oh, I need to find somewhere else to do this. Alright, we're going to cap it up and we'll see it in a couple days. Stage 4 underway. And we're back with our picture jasper and Australian lace agate, which has been running for 4 days in our 1000 aluminum oxide. Real good story. Give it its bath cycle. Clean it out, and then we'll do an inspection and see if it's ready to go to polish. Give it lots of water. Okay, we will see this in 30 minutes. And we're back with our picture jasper and our Australian lace agate that has been running for 4 days in 1000 aluminum oxide pre-polish. And it's just finished a 30-minute dawn wash cycle. And you know what? Ceramics fall through the holes on this. So let's put another one in here. Catch the overflow. Definitely ready to move to polish, but we'll know when we go inside the inspection. See, catching all the overflows. All right, I'll be right back. And we're back with our Australian lace agate. It has run 4 days in 1000 aluminum oxide with in the Vibratory tumbler. So now we're just gonna finish. We did a little 30-minute dawn wash cycle, and then we rinsed it off just with regular plain tap water. And now we're gonna do an inspection, make sure there's no broken pieces, make sure it's good to move forward to polish. Want to make sure that there's no grit left in any of these little holes here. And these are wet, so you know what, let me dry it off. There's a little more of a matte shine to it. The surface feels really nice. Just want to make sure there's no grit in these little pockets, these little crystal pockets. And then just to be triple sure, I'm going to put these in an ultrasonic bath. Just want to make sure that there's no damage before they go in there. Wow, some lovely, lovely pieces. And this is not to be confused with Mexican crazy lace. This is from Australia. See, that druzy pocket I'm especially concerned with. It's got really small and really thin. That is not Australian lace. I had 2 types of stone running in the barrel. I had a picture jasper, which we're going to look at next. Whew. This is just so cool. Yeah, I think that's going to be an issue, but that's why I'm pretty sure all of these will fit in one of my little baskets for the vibratory cleaner. Yeah. I mean, they're getting pretty small. A lot of really smalls in here. Some of those were chips off bigger stones that happened in stage 1. Like it would break, the piece would break, and they were so pretty, and they have such a amazing patterning in them. I left them to continue. It's like I have very few large pieces left. Everything's getting kind of small. Yeah, this all feels just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So let's just get this prepped and ready. I felt that. It's a big druzy pocket. Alright, I just want to pour plain tap water. Make sure that the stones are covered. Because if they're not, it's not gonna, the ultrasonic cleaner is not gonna help it any. Alright. Put that in the ultrasonic cleaner and we'll see that in 30 minutes. I'll be right back. Now that all the barrels are clean, the ultrasonic is finished as well. And as we predicted, the water in the picture jasper was much clearer than that in the Australian lace agate, because there was a lot more slurry left in that. Alright, I'm going to run outside, dump these, because we don't want any of this water, even though it's such a minute amount, in our indoor plumbing. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, we are back with our vibratory unit, our polish barrel. We're just going to dampen it down. We're going to get our little funnel. We are going to put our damp picture jasper that we had just finished the ultrasonic bath with. We're just gently going to put all this stone in the barrel. I mean, I could go faster, but I don't want to damage these really lovely stones. Alright, now this should be enough. Okay. Let's see how much room we have left. Yeah, I think there's enough room. So we can put our Australian lace agate in there as well. Oh, goodness, this is just a crazy setup. I don't like it at all. Just easier to do without the stand. We are going to turn the unit on and we're going to mix the stone a little bit. Now we are going to put our wet polish ceramics in there, just a little bit at a time. Some more in there. That's all I want to do. Now, turn the unit on. One tablespoon of borax. Got our stage 5 2 micron aluminum oxide. And a nice heaping tablespoon, excuse me. again in a moment. I really don't think I'm going to need a second tablespoon, but I just want to see what the slurry looks like after this mixes for a minute. I think I've been using too much polish. You know, it doesn't polish any faster with more in there, so why waste it? Darn, that's looking really good. I think 1 tablespoon is all I needed. Just watch that for a moment. And I think this is the only thing that's going to be in this unit for the next 3 days. We won't have any other stages running because nothing else is ready. Oh, that's delightful. Tap that up. Picture Jasper, Australian lace agate, and polish. Today's September 30th. I will check on it in a couple hours and see how the action's running, and if I need to add any water or anything to it. And then, yeah, we should probably see this in about 3-4 days, see how that's doing. All right, let's go do the other barrel inspections. Okay, we're checking on our Australian lace agate and our Picture Jasper. It's been running 4 days in polish in our Vibratory unit, and I want to see how polish is coming. So I'm going to take out a couple of random pieces and check them, and let's see how it's going. Whoops. I want some Picture Jasper. It just wants to go wide enough for the Picture Jasper. I'm going to put my fingers in there. There we go. Get that Picture Jasper. And that's rather nice. Okay, I did get one of these. This is just a quick little rinse, quick little dry. Alright, it's got a matte, or well, kind of a sheen. It's not that high gloss polish that I want, so it's going to have to spend a couple more days in. It's coming along nicely. Look at that. We're getting a polish. Just not going to rush it. I'm going to give it another day or two. Now let's check the Australian lace agate. About the same. I think I'm going to want a higher polish on this too. It's looking good though. It's getting there. You can see all the little nooks and crannies that the polish is getting jammed into with the Vibratory unit. That's why we spend so much time in stage 1 trying to get rid of all these little pits. Yeah, so that's going to require a scrubbing and the ultrasonic cleaner to get all that out. But that's not what we're looking for right now. We're looking for the shine. And after 4 days, it's coming along nice. But it's going to have to spend some more time. So back in the barrel it goes. Alright, my lovelies. I'm actually going to wet this paste down a little bit more. And listen to how quiet it gets when the lid goes on. All right, we will see it tomorrow. We'll do another check. Okay, it has been 9 days total that our Australian lace agate and picture jasper has been in polish. Let's take a look. Yep, didn't lock up. The slurry's been good the whole time. Let's just turn that off. And let's pull out a couple pieces. Put it in some water. Let's grab a picture jasper. Australian lace. Kind of hard to tell what's what when it's on like this. Let's see if we can just rinse it off some here. Alright. Alright, this is a piece of picture jasper I've got here. Dry it off. Let's check the shine. Whoops. There. Wow. I think that looks nice. Looks nicer than it did at 3 days. 5 days. Oh, I think that's lovely. Alright, and we will need to run these through a wash cycle and burnish them. And we'll see what the final product looks like, but just want to check this other piece, which is the Australian lace. And you can see all these little crevices where the polish got driven in. Hopefully the ultrasonic cleaner can get that out. But what I want to see is the shine. Gosh, it feels like glass. It's a wonderful shine, but all these pits and crevices really need a good cleaning. Okay, let's put these two back in here. Add a couple drops of non-dish soap, a lot of water, turn it back on, we're going to let that go for about half an hour and then we'll rinse it out outside. We'll give it its little bath. Let's put the lid back on. Alright, my little beauties, we will see you in half an hour. Here's our polish barrel, fresh out of a dawn bath. And I took it outside and rinsed it off. And now I'm going to inspect it for damage and any stuck grit, and then I'm going to put that in the ultrasonic cleaner for a 30-minute bath after that, and then these should be finished. So we've got our picture jasper and our Australian lace agate, and there does seem to be a few little spots. Let's dry it off. Yeah, right in there. Looks like there's some damage. Oh, let's get a focus on this. Kind of see that chip there. This Australian lace agate, you can really see where the polish got jammed into all the crooks and crevices. That one looks fairly okay. Just scrubbing with plain tap water. And then they're going into little barrels. Picture Jasper in one and Australian lace in the other. And then they're going to go into the ultrasonic cleaner. Alright, I'm going to separate these out. Do that off camera. Do a little scrub on those that need it. Alright, we will be back. And we're back with our Australian lace agate. While we're letting the Picture Jasper have a 30-minute borax burnish in the Vibratory tumbler, we're going to check these and see how they're doing. They're mostly dry. Ooh, very pretty. Let's check for cleanliness for polish. Not seeing any. The water was really cloudy when it came out of the ultrasonic, meaning there was a lot of polish residue in these little tiny pits, which right now doesn't seem like there's any. Yeah, that looks good and clean. Wow. Look at the patterns on these. Whew. Still a little damp. Want them to dry so that we can get a really good look and see if they're going to cloud up like that Picture Jasper got a haze on it. Wow, it's an amazing shine. Look at that crevice, is all nice and clean. Little pits are clean. That's a pretty one. Ooh, lovely. Chasing that shine, and it's dry. There's a nice big piece. Wow. Well, I gotta say it's nice and clean now. So I ran it through a 30-minute cycle in the ultrasonic cleaner with just tap water, and then I did an additional 10-minute cycle. I changed the water out, and it was almost clear. I mean, there was still a tiny bit that came. It was a little tiny cloudy after the second cycle, but my gosh, can't argue with those results. See how clean that came out. I'm going to give this a few minutes to air dry, and we'll see if it clouds up like the Picture Jasper did. This surface seems so super glassy. It's just stunning. I mean, you can't argue with that shine. I mean, even the little pits are super clean. I love that yellow. It's really pretty, but look at that. Ooh, crazy. Alright, let's just spread it out, let it air dry. A lot of the pieces are really tiny, like little pebbles that got really small. Look at this one. banding. And it's a small little piece, but it's really packs quite a punch. Alright, let's just spread it out. I'm going to let it air dry. We're going to check it a few minutes. See if it's hazing up any. Boy, a lot of this got really small. Okay, wow, this is crazy. I love this one. Look at all the colors. Dang. Vibrant. Vibrant. Alright, our little lovelies. We'll see you soon. Okay, we are back with our Australian lace agate. It is air dried after its polish. And we did not burnish this traditionally. We did give it a dawn bath in the vibratory unit, and we did put it in for 40 minutes in the ultrasonic cleaner with just water, and then we let it air dry. It's got such a lovely polish. It's not hazy, not cloudy. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. And you see the druzy pockets and everything. See, even the little pits came out clean. Oh, it's just beautiful. I am so happy with this Australian lace agate. See the pits right there, the fracture marks, everything came out really clean. A really good polish. Very happy with it. Very happy with it. I love it when things are a success. Sometimes you gotta tweak them. Remember that one we were concerned about because of the crack? You can see the crystals in it. But it made it through. That looks like it's got a lot of porous pitting and whatever, but it's not. It's all smooth. As you can see, once the light chases on it, it's all smooth. That's just the white that's in the stone. Wow. I'm so happy with this. The lines on that. My finger mark off of it. Looks like a little slab of bacon. Just lovely. Love how yellow. Okay, we are done with Australian lace agate. Oh, so pretty.